Hello, friends. Happy Tuesday. That's weird to say. Welcome to my live, and if you're watching later, welcome to the replay. My name is Robin, and I'm with Robin's Egg Blue Creations, and I'm also an independent designer with Couture. So once you hop on tonight's live or you hop on the replay at a later date, please feel free to say hi in the comments and tell me where you are watching from. Kind of crooked here. I don't know what's going on. I'm live in 2 locations this evening, so if you hear me refer to a comment that is not in your feed, that person is probably watching from a different platform. If you are on Facebook and you're watching, if you wouldn't mind giving me a thumbs up and a follow, or you can hit the heart button. And if you're on YouTube, if you wouldn't mind giving me the thumbs up and a subscribe. And as always, if you like what you see, share this video out wherever you have permission. Tag your crafty friends and invite them to watch along with you. So we'll go to the comments. I see that Jason, he says he's watching from the other side of the door, and he says hello and happy Tuesday. So as others are joining, I'm going to go ahead and flip the camera so that we can get started, and I can show you all of the junk that's laying on my table. Okie doke. This is a composition notebook. It's a fringe notebook that I purchased at Marshall's. You still see the tag on the back. I thought it was super cute. It went great with the Paws Make the Laws transfer. I do believe this is sold out. There is one vertical dog themed size A transfer. I believe it's in the sale tab, but I just thought it was super cute with all the dogs. And my intent has always been to make some sort of tag or tassel with it. And let me rewind a little bit. So I used the transfer and some probably some shimmer eucalyptus paste, and I just used a scrap piece of canvas, and I used the transfer and the paste and pasted on just a piece of scrap canvas, and then I glued it probably with Fabri-Tac to this dog themed composition book. I love to upcycle notebooks with the Couture transfers and paste. I think it is so much fun. So I also love to make these little junky keychains and tags with the UV resin and the UV flashlight that I also sell on my chalk site. I happened to find these buttons at Walmart. They're the Dress Me Up brand, and they're back with kind of the sewing notions. They came with these 6 little cutie patootie dog buttons, and actually I need to get a flush cutter out. They do have the shank on the back side, but we're going to cut those to make them flat back, so I actually need to grab that real quick. Hopefully one of these will work. I actually have a button shank cutter, but it's probably out in the other room. But I think one of these flush cutters should work. I only have 3 pairs, so let's see if some of these will work. So these are just basic jewelry flush cutters, F-L-U-S-H, and I'm just going to use them to snap off that button shank. And then we'll play which morning next week is Robin going to step on the button shanks that are flying across her craft room. Oh no, I think this is fine. Actually though, if you go over to my black bookshelves, there is on the one that's kind of closest to the northeast corner on the top shelf of the last bookcase. Actually, it's in a long pink Hello Kitty container. It's actually, I think it's on the second to last bookshelf, on the second shelf, kind of in the middle, stacked up on some light green Singer sewing machine boxes. It is the long pink Hello Kitty container. We'll just see if it cuts any better than these flush cutters. I mean, it's not a big deal. I think they all work the same, but so while Jason's getting my shank cutter, most acrylic keychains and tags, bookmarks, things like that have a protective cover. So I'm going to peel that off of one side, and I'm going to leave the other one on the other side until we're all finished, just to protect that bottom layer. I'm going to put this away for just a second. Actually, put it to the side. So I also pulled out, bingo, thanks. Thank you. My trusty assistant got it for me. I hope it's, yeah. So there is my official button shank cutter. It is actually a lot more angled than these flush cutters, so it might get a little closer. Actually, it does a lot better. Thank you for getting that for me. Let's see if I can get the rest of this cut a little more flush. Oh yeah, these cut much better. So if you're going to use shank buttons, I would suggest, and I think they're less than $10, investing in the shank trimmer, because it gets a lot more flush than the flush cutters. Go figure. Oh yeah, those are perfect. So now the shank has been removed. So my thought is I'm going to probably use 3 different dogs. I'll use the white one, and then probably a couple of brown ones. I thought about, because this says pause make the laws, I thought about using some alphabet beads to make the word paw parent, but I don't, if I do that, then I should probably only use 2 dogs, which isn't a big deal. I was trying to see what other, if any of these dogs matched a little better, but they don't, so it doesn't matter. I might be able to fit 3. We'll just figure it out. So now I also need to figure out if I want to use, I kind of like this. So I have just the plain white and black, but I also have these. I think I got these at Walmart. They're kind of pastel jewel tones with gold letters. Or I have just the black and white. But I'm kind of thinking I want to go with these. So let's, so I need 2 P's. Let's go P, A, W, another P, now we just have to see will it fit. I like that color. NT. Oh, that's too. Let's use a darker color. Whoops. I think we'll use the lighter teal. Ooh, oh yeah, we have used that color. Okay, hopefully that'll work. I think I might be able to get away with, maybe not. I also thought about using these pearls, but they might be, that might be too much with the multicolor. If I use these, which would add more color, maybe I should just use the white, and that's too big. The white and black letters. Decisions, decisions. What do y'all think? I kind of think I like these flat back pearls, which means I probably shouldn't use the multicolored letters. Let's stick to a color theme. I kind of like those 3. It's not pink. Sorry, I'm thinking and trying to find the right size and shape. Let's go with that, and then I think should I do the letters at all? I do really like those, but I like the I'm just thinking, you like these initial 3 colors and then do white and black. I really like these, but that would be too much color. Are these the same size or are these bigger? You mean the initial 3 colors of the word paw? That's what I'm worried that you're going to say. There's no law that says we have to go straight across. We could angle it to where we have more room. And I think I want that dog up there. I think I want there. No, the pearls. Well, good. After I took all those other ones off, I was like, wait, I hope that's what he meant. I think I need to find smaller ones though. I'm just kind of dry fitting right now. Figure out where I want everything. So then we're not going to use those 3 dogs. I don't think. I almost think that the big ones are too big. I'll definitely put those away. I could find some small ones. See how that works first. See if we're even close to our, does that even resemble the colors in our And that don't have to be, it can kind of hang off a little bit if that'll give me some more room. Robin, you've got 19 billion sticky things. Use them. How's that? Ish. Of course, you can't see that very well. How's that look? Hello, Miss Bonita. You've only done a few of these, but you love them. This one is looking fantastic. And then, of course, there'll be glitter. So I picked white glitter. I don't know if I should pick a different color. But I think that's fun. I don't think I can... I wished I had smaller ones in here, but I don't think I do. It'd be nice to squish a few more on here, but I don't know if I can. Unless I find one more. Maybe like that. Oh, I had one out here, you dingbat. I wish I had some smaller ones, but I have smaller white pearls, but I don't, unless they're stuck. I think that's as small as these go. Okay. Now, I'm just going to put it down. Okay. Now, can I remember? Let's zoom you guys in a little bit. It's really far away. How's that? Is that better? Now, I'm going to take a picture. Otherwise, I'll forget what it was supposed to look like. Okay, so now we're going to take everything off. Guess I can. Kind of duplicate how I have it ish. Okay, sort of how I have it. So now we're going to take our UV resin. Actually, first, I'm going to sand the. I have not done this step, but I've seen other people do it, and I think it's probably a good idea. Although I've had my keychain, junk keychain on my purse for forever, and nothing has fallen off, but I have seen other people lightly sand their tag. So I'm going to do that. I'm just going to, oops, is that the right? Yep, that's the right side. Just didn't feel like it was doing anything. I'm just going to scuff this side up a little bit. It'll just give that resin something to stick to. And then, important step, you want to clean it with alcohol, rubbing alcohol. Get all that dust off. Okay, so we'll let that dry. Let's see. I wonder if I can get this thing to stick. Try that. See if it's level. Okay. So now let's put some UV resin in our container here. It's probably way too much. Maybe not. I don't know. Still haven't learned to judge this yet. And then oh, I didn't grab the, oh well. I did not grab the plate for my lamp. So I'm just going to add a little bit of glitter. The important thing I've heard about glitter is you want to make sure it does not change the viscosity of your resin. You want it to remain the same thickness. You don't want the glitter to make it too thick. Okay, and before I get too far, let's get some stuff out of our way. I'm gonna get my light plugged in. I have too many tools. No, you don't need to get anything for me. Hey, Miss Ashley, I just forgot to grab the acrylic plate that goes in my UV light. And now I have to figure out which. So we are making a tag, a junk UV resin junk tag, and a tassel to go with this composition book that we made a while ago. Let me get this plugged in. Oh, made a snap. I never can remember. Okay. Oh, turn off, turn off. Okay, I need to go find my plate. Not for sure where mine went, so we're just gonna wing it. Who needs a plate? Nobody needs a plate. We're just gonna stir a little bit. And then hopefully I have, oh, that didn't stick. I can't get mine to stick. It's supposed to help me hold my tag, but it comes undone. So I'm going to pour. I'm going to get it all out to the edges. And the cool thing about UV resin is that it's self-leveling. You just want to kind of spread it. Just trying to get it all out to the edges. Okay, and then we're going to start. The cool thing about this is that these will just kind of float for a bit. It's not like you're putting it in super glue and it doesn't, the resins just kind of stays wet. So we're just going to plop all these down. And then we can kind of move them as we get there. And since our notebook said the paws make the laws, scooch. Need something a little. Let's scooch these in. Okay. I'm going to dump everything here in a minute. I can close my tweezers and use it as like a poking tool. I'm just waiting for my arm to hit this and send everything flying. This one was up near the top. Oop. I had a rust colored one. This dog was down a little bit. And then we had a pink one. Jason says I make it look easy. He'd have an upside down mess by now. Well, like I said, I'm surprised I have not dumped it or hit it with my arm. And then we can just kind of tweak from here. Kind of hang him off a little bit. This corner looks a little bare. What do y'all think? I think I'm going, I don't know whether to put more resin on now or cure this and see what happens. I'm going to spread these apart a little bit. As I can. How about that? Okay, so now I'm gonna get all that out of the way right now. Now can I pop it off of this thing without? Okay, so now I'm gonna pop it. I wished I had my little tray. I think I'm just gonna stick it. Hopefully this will work. So we're gonna stick it under our light. You could also use the flashlight, and I've listed the UV resin and the flashlight in the description of the video in the cart link, and it kind of works the exact same way. I do recommend, if you're going to use the flashlight, because you don't and do multitasking, that you do. I did invest in a flashlight stand, but this one is magnet. This flashlight is so heavy that you do need to put something metal to support, because otherwise if you bend this, it's going to tip over. I don't know if this is going to be. You do need something with a wider base to pop on here. I don't have anything like a cheap dollar store cookie sheet, or I don't know what else I have, like the lid of a 10, just to make sure that this doesn't tip over. But the flashlight does work. You just either have to get a stand for it, or you have to hold it for a couple minutes, which is not terrible. And if you don't want to invest in a light, you can also just take the keychain while it's still wet out in the sunlight, and it will cure outside. It doesn't even have to be completely sunny. It says, the instructions say you need a 36 watt UV light and it will cure in 2 to 4 minutes. In sunlight, it will cure in 5 to 10 minutes. And on a cloudy day, 20 to 40 minutes. If you're curing less than 5 millimeter thickness, which I believe that's like 1/4 of an inch. Okay, let's see. I think I'm going to do a little bit longer because, oh, I forgot to pop air bubbles, but I'm not for sure I see any air bubbles. Let's do it for a little longer. And it might be because it's so low down. Let's just put it up there. Hopefully that'll work. I do, while this is curing, let me show you. Regardless of whether you're on the naughty list or the nice list, if you place an order between anywhere from today until the 31st, you can get either a free black velvet paste or a free Christmas transfer. So whoever the powers of be that pack orders will determine whether you've been naughty or nice. Actually, they'll probably use Santa's list, so only he knows whether you've been naughty or nice. So if you place an order between now and the 31st, you can either get a free black velvet paste or a free Christmas transfer. And, oops, where'd it go? Not that. I want that. Oops. There. So we'll run the specials while we're, and if you want to don't forget, if you want to join Club Couture, you can join for $1 this month. And then September and October, or August and September will go back to normal price. And then there's always the Perks program. You can pay in $20 a month, but you'd also get an automatic $20 product credit bounce back, and then you can shop at 30% off retail pricing. Okay, so also while we're waiting, I wanted to make a tassel, and I need to know what color of yarn. So I've got A, get some of this out of the way, B, or C, or D. What do you think looks the best? Or what would you prefer? Okay, that is much less tacky. I don't know if it's still a little tacky in a few spots. Let's do it for a little bit longer. I think we'll do it for 3 minutes. Am I forgetting a step? This seems a little too easy. If you feel like you have bubbles in your UV resin, although I've never really worried about it a whole lot, you can spray a fine mist of alcohol, rubbing alcohol, or you can use a blowtorch to kind of pop those surface bubbles. Jason Benita says B, and Jason both also says B. That is not what I thought you guys would have picked, but it does grab most of the colors. It's like there's a little bit of orangey rust, there's some pink, there's the green. I was trying to find something that kind of matched the pink. You guys made that too easy. Okay. Okay, let's get, and an easy way to clean off your resin tools is you can pop them right under the light. As long as they're silicone, it will cure the resin that is on your tools and it will peel right up. I'm not for sure if I'm done yet, so that's why I haven't put mine away yet, or I haven't cured mine. Let's put all my gadgets and gizmos away. That over there. I believe the flashlight is 25% off right now. So don't buy the bundle. If you're going to add these to your cart, add them separately because it's surprisingly cheaper right now to add them separately. Parts of it are still tacky. I don't quite know why. I'm going to keep going. If all else fails, I'll just stick it out in the sunlight and we'll get it good and cured that way. Let's get this packed up. And this is just a Let's Resin light. I like it because you can take it apart and just use one piece, or you can use both pieces, and it has 360-degree lights that way. Okay, let's keep going. So now I just want to make a tassel. This is what we ended up with. I think it looks perfect. Paw parent. So that's going to be super cute. Okay, now, oops, I don't want that. Now I gotta figure out how I want to do this. Okay, I want, okay, I'm gonna cut my yarn. I'd say it's about 40 inches total. I'm totally guessing. This is 14, roughly 20 inches doubled, so 40. So I'm going to fold it in half. Oh wait, we still need to take the, don't forget to take that, I need to make one for Luna that says Car Dog. So I took the protective layer off the back side. Now it looks even better. Although, can't really tell. Okay, so I'm going to stick my yarn through here. I think it would be cute to add some little beads. I just don't know which ones. I almost think I need to go for the double ply twice. So let's cut another one. This might be a bit excessive, but So we've been taking, ever since Dane moved out, we've been taking Luna with us places just to run errands. Well, Jason started taking her to McDonald's on Saturday morning. That's kind of a new tradition we started. And so he started going with her, and now it's kind of become we call it the food hole. It's going to look kind of weird. I wonder, I think beads would probably be a bit too much, but I do think I need to come up with a way. I think I just need to tie, just to keep these strands a little bit more together. And then and I think we'll put one, I don't want to stretch it, so we'll kind of put some down here. So I'm going to put another one down there, and then we're going to tie our tassel here. Okay, so then I'm going to get out my tassel tool, tassel maker, but you don't need this, and I'm not even for sure. Let's check and see if they still even carry it. No, they don't. So all you need is a scrap piece of wood, a thick piece of cardboard. I'm going to use the 4-inch mark if you happen to have yours. I stick my fingers in here so that when I get to pulling too tight, it doesn't pull down like that. That's not that big of a deal, but I'm sure I don't use this the way you're supposed to. But I just take my yarn. Actually, let's make it 5. That way I have room to trim. And then we're just going to wrap the yarn how many ever times you want to. I like a big fluffy tassel, so maybe 25, 30, 35 times, and I've lost count. So we'll say that's 10. I know it's not, but 11, actually 5, 6, 8, 9, 10, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24, 25, 26, 27, 29, 30, 31, 32, 33, 34, 35. And I need to go snag my yarn because it fell on the floor. Okay. So then we'll trim this, and then I need a piece to tie it off. And that should be good for that. Okay, so then I'm just going to pull this off. And then I'm literally going to okay. Try not to lose everything here. We're going to tie it using these 2 things. That way, this part of the knot is hidden inside of the tassel. Oops. Don't pull that tight, Robin. Okay. Sort of, kind of. that to stay there. You just have to be careful with yarn because some of it's kind of stretchy. The more cotton content you have, the less stretch there is. Okay. And then we're going to trim these pieces. That's going to make our tassel part. Ooh, I always botch that. They're so not crooked or so not centered. Let's see if I can pull this down. That's better. I had like a 2-inch difference from one side to the other. So I just kind of gather it all up. I'm trying to make sure that there's not a separation where my little tie pieces are. So it kind of created its own little calic. So I'm trying to get rid of that. So then I'm going to take my tie-off string. I'm going to create a loop. I'm going to lay that loop on my tassel. Kind of have to hold your tongue right and twist your toes around, and I'm going to lay that loop down. Kind of hold that with my thumb, and then with that loose end, you're going to start wrapping that around your tassel to kind of create that neck. And then you're going to take the tail and you're going to put that string toward the tassel or through the loop, and then you're going to hold that. It's all coming loose, and then you're going to pull this up at the top. And it's going to kind of close everything off. And then you won't have a knot. And then you technically could, you're supposed to cut that little piece off, but you could also just kind of let it hang. You could also, yeah, I'll just cut it off. And you cut it off flush with the neck that you created. And then you can kind of push in and kind of hide that loose tail. Nice, kind of floof it out. And then if there's any like weird bubbles in some of your pieces, just kind of find where their loose end is and just start gently pulling. It's kind of like fixing a ponytail. And then you just want to trim off all of the raggedy ends. Give it a haircut. Okay, I think that looks pretty good. This put away. So that is our cute little tassel. So cute. Got some wild hairs going here. You would think the variegated yarn would make it easier to figure out which ones are which. So if you can't figure it out, you can kind of gently pull back here and see which one moves. Maybe. It could be any 100 of these. Sometimes it's a process of elimination. Aha, found it. Okay. Ashley says cute. I think that looks, and then you can either do it, I would probably use it as a bookmark this way. Where did my knots go? Did I lose them? Oh, that's where my tassel is, which is fine. That works perfect, actually. So you could leave that hanging like that. Use it as a bookmark that way. You could do it the other way, but I kind of like it on the top. That's super cute. It's going to be really hard to put in my booth. Darn it. But I can always make, I can make more. Again, I bought the buttons at the dog buttons at Walmart. They came in a package of 6. I do have those linked below. That is super cute. Here is from the front. So cute. I love making these. I just need to make more. They're too cute. Yeah, I think I need to put it outside. It's still a little sticky. So I may have to do that this evening. Jason says adorable. Ashley says super cute. And Benita says most precious, and she loves it. Okie doke. Well, if you happen to make any junk UV resin, she gave me, I don't usually sell them on Etsy. I could put it on Etsy, but I just mainly have door hangers. I have such a hard time getting stuff done for my booth. I hope to have some notebooks for my Whatnot sale on August 15th. I've just got to get my button gear when we get back home. But no, I haven't ever sold on the notebooks on Etsy, mainly because they're usually ones. Because usually I'll find like a random notebook like this dog one, or like this one. And so they're just random notebooks that I find, but I've also done some composition books, so those are easier to get and source. So if I start making more composition upcycled journals, then I might post those on Etsy. Bonita says she made a junk tags for your 2 grandkids to hang on their backpacks to celebrate their baptisms. That's fantastic. What a fun and unique way to remember such a special day. Okie doke. With that, I'm going to hop off. I won't be live again for the rest of the week. We are headed out of town to spend a long weekend with my mom. It's her birthday tomorrow. So if you say prayers, just say some prayers for travel. We're taking Luna with us. She's been to my mom's for a day, but she hasn't ever been there for a long. Pray for our sanity, but I think she'll do fine. So with that, I'm going to go ahead and hop off. I hope you all have a great week, rest of your week, a great weekend, and make sure you go order so you can get either your naughty or nice free gift. You know, Jason, I have thought about taking some stuff to do some pop-up lives, but I don't, I just don't want to have to worry about all that. I've thought about it, and yeah, I just don't know how it'll work. Ashley says, prayers, my friend. Thank you. Benita says, enjoy the rest of your week with my mom. Rick goes in tomorrow for knee replacement surgery. Oh, definitely we'll add you to our prayer list. Definitely, definitely. I hope all goes well. I hope um, the healing process works great, and physical therapy is not too much of a bear. So I'll definitely be praying. Okay, doke. Have a great week. Have a great weekend, and I will see you in my next video. Thanks for watching.